Ilyet én nem kapok, ha ezért zokogok, tudom, sajnálnak az angyalok. Nekem nincs anyukám, apukám, csak egy fél kifli az uzsonnám. Közben jó, édeském, illata száll felém, jaj de jó, a habos sütemény.
Hello and welcome to Questions and Answers with Gabor. I am Nurit, speaking with you today from Budapest, Hungary. And our guest today is Jan Boujon. And she is speaking with us today from Detroit, Michigan. And Jan is a visual artist. And I will be posting her a Facebook page. You'll be able to see her Facebook page if you'd like to see her art. And Jan has been having several private sessions with Gabor. She's been studying with him for a while. And today she's offered to ask questions that we can post on YouTube and other social media sites so that other people can benefit from her journey and from the answers that she receives. Okay. Thank you so much, Jan, for being with us today.
Thank you, Nurit.
And I will bring Gabor.
I was trained in 3 energy modalities, healing, and I haven't really gotten into it, but that's a possible thing for me to do now. So I'm wondering, I guess anything that one does from this platform is more effective, or could you speak to anything about, people call themselves light workers and things like that. I haven't really gotten into that. I just always felt like I wanted to help people, and because I've always felt energy, I got into that. So what would your thoughts be about people who do that or want to do that, or doing it from an awakened state versus a non-awakened state?
Yes. Excellent. Let's suppose that someone is a good healer already, or any kind of healer, and they love their job and they heal people, etc. And in whatever healing modality, they conquer or melt away some kind of a problem. Like we take a look at the onion, and when you take off a layer from the onion. Oh my God, it feels so good. We took a layer off. So it's a very, very, most healing modality is absolutely fantastic. When someone is able to and want to switch platforms, it's actually very much like having a very, very old raggedy computer to try to calculate things versus having a Windows 10, or I don't know what the current one is. It's very much the same. They both are able to calculate and give you answers, but the newest one will be so much quicker, so much more efficient. It's a different platform. And if you're adding the universe, God, call it what you want, to your healing modality, wow, I mean, the results are very different, because now we're still peeling the onion, but chances are that the results will be permanent.
Because I was aware that if someone has a belief going on, it may be a temporary feeling good, but then it would come back, whatever it was.
Yeah, that's the thing. You see, it's exactly. I can be in a healing modality with somebody and be on a normal platform, and it will be helpful, and the person will feel great for a while, for a month or
Right.
3 months or 2 weeks, and then it will come back because the healing only happened on a superficial level.
Oh, they'll have an experience while
Right.
I'm doing
Yeah.
it, and they'll think, "Oh, wow," you
Yes.
know, and so they'll come back for another experience.
Exactly, and then but the problem is because it's mainly in the mind. The mind keeps fixing the escape, fixing the problem. Go
Right.
back to where you were.
Right.
So
So
now,
as far as I always had a sense that when I did that, which wasn't very often, I really didn't get into that because I kind of knew that. I had a sense of that, and I would feel that whenever I was more, if I had been meditating, and I was more, whatever, I don't even know the word. I was more centered. I was more less anxious or less having a problem in life, that there was more effect. So I can see how that would. Yeah, I'm looking forward to helping people because
yeah,
this has been very. It's been amazing, and so.
yeah. Here's another. This is a very important subject. Again, you bring up very important subjects that people are concerned about, and I'm particularly not concerned. That's not a good word. I'm particularly attempting to motivate healers to actually wake up, because let's go back to the onion. If I take off a layer of the onion and you feel good, and then the onion layer grows back, fine, we did some good. But if the facilitator or the healer is actually present in the present moment, then you're not addressing only the outer layer, but you go into the middle of the onion. So I'm working with someone and I go to the middle of the onion. And so there is like a mini explosion that happens in the middle of the onion. That mini explosion brings up the appropriate issue that need to be addressed now. Rather than taking the outer edge of the onion, let's first address this and let's second address this. That's fine. But if I am a healer and I'm approaching a person from the current moment and I'm staying present as a healer, I go from your heart to my heart, and in the core of the onion, in the core of your being, like a mini explosion happens that brings to the surface what needs to be addressed right now. So we are employing, or we are bringing forth universal power to help us, because the universe or God knows much more accurately what needs to be addressed now.
Right, and the modality that I chose was an intuitive one. There was no, trying to feel an area that was blocked and remove it. This was different. And so what I'm wondering after your explanation is, what if the person has a lot of blocks, say, I don't know what other word to use, but a lot of issues that they've never worked on. They're saying a lot of physical pain. And can that just, is there have to be a cooperation kind of in a way between the person on the table and, presence or whatever? In other words, presence can't just remove it if the person is holding on to it in some way.
Well, yes. Presence, just being present and very loving with that person is healing in and of itself. Just to be in the presence of a person who loves you unconditionally and being with you is already sort of a healing. Now, practically speaking, my experience is that And I'm working with a few people who have pain and physical illness and stuff like that. And I'm not a healer per se. Occasionally, because the person learns how to be in the present moment, healing happens. So occasionally we need to address the pain because it's in this moment. So whatever is happening now, we're addressing is consciousness. So here's a pain that just popped up because the person has plenty. First thing we do is lovingly, unconditionally accept it. Not accept it in the mind, okay, I accept it, but we're being with it, we're surrounding it with this unconditional love. And what I'm talking about now is a natural thing when the person is present. I'm just present with you, I accept you. Talking to the pain or the inconsistency or whatever, right? Being with it and embrace it, we're activating the universal powers to heal that problem. At the timing and the pace what the universe dictates, not what my mind dictates. So if it comes up in the present moment, in this loving place, there's a pain, whether it's physical, emotional, or whatever, we first be with it. To the mind, it looks like we're accepting it. It's not we're accepting it, we're just being with it lovingly. And by being with it, it starts shifting. Occasionally, occasionally the pain wants to have a voice. And being in the present moment, we would know that. So I usually say, okay, does this pain have a voice? And then we usually just open our mouths and say, ah, and no thinking, you just see what would come out of my mouth. We don't have to analyze it, we just give the pain a voice. I embrace you, I love you, I accept you the way you are, I'm not trying to change. Do you have a voice? And just say, ah, it doesn't have to be big, it's just whatever. Sometimes it's just a sigh, sometimes anger, ah.
Yeah, I've been doing that and it's been very, very effective.
So I don't know if this is a healing modality of some kind, but from where I'm coming from, all we do is we go to a different platform, the different platform of love, and we're addressing that problem from that perspective, and it happens automatically. If a person has a modality, like you do, or somebody who is a professional healer, if you shift platforms to the present moment, if you were an excellent healer, now you're going to be an excellent healer. Or you would be an excellent architect, a much better architect than before, a much better engineer, a much better zookeeper. I mean, we're shifting platforms. And what you learned from your school of healing or zookeeping or engineering, right, is still valid. But now it's much more effective.
Yes, one of my things with my talents or the things that I do well was holding myself back. And so this is going to be very, what I've been learning from you is really going to help me not have that fear inside of moving forward and looking to someone else to guide me rather, myself. And it has been amazing.
Yeah, it's my goal, our goal is to quickly, quote unquote, quickly get the person, help the person sustain this this loving platform and show how, in a sense, how easy it is.
It is easy.
If you
I,
accept it, it's easy.
it is easy. The deeper I went, the more a thought came in about, wow, this really is easy. The only thing that makes it difficult is the mind.
Exactly. It's easy if you accept that it's easy, but the biggest obstacle is that society and all the people around us who have been trained for a long time, who have been meditating for 20 years, or going to the same church for 30 years, or who know people who have been staying silent for so many years. Those people have vested interest in this not being simple. Because am I an idiot that I spent 20 years meditating and now it's simple?
Yeah, it's pretty ironic.
If you accept that it's simple, but the mind tends to say, oh my God, I have a friend who have been meditating for 20 years. So it has to be more difficult and complex because I respect this person. And so I obviously have to take a long time, and the learning has to be a continuation of some kind of a long process, and I can get there. And that's total bullshit.
Yeah, that's the way the world thinks.
Yeah, it's a lie. It's not true. What does the present moment have to do with a long process? I mean, I hate to use even the word process. We go into the now. There's a way to learn how to be in the now. Why should it be difficult? Why should God say to his children, okay, I'm going to make it damn difficult to come to me?
Yeah, I would think about that before I would go to bed and sleep. Why is this so difficult? I'm trying to do everything the right way.
Right. God doesn't have an ego problem. Need to be worshipped. I mean, so anyway, it's easy if we accept that it's easy, and there is a way to be present, and there is some learning involved, there is some practice that is involved, but if the same effort is being put into being present, then let's say to a long process of meditation or to a long process of going forward and continuing something, just a little bit of effort gets you 1,000 times more results.
Right. Absolutely. It's what you call, I remember hearing the word paradox.
Totally. I mean, the mind assumes that more is better. So it makes sense. I'm starting a process and I'm going to level 1 and level 2, and then I'm going to an intensive, and then I'm going to meet the head honcho of this organization who's going to have a nice cut in his head and a nice hat and a nice shirt. Do an ancient Indian ceremony, which I haven't got a clue what the hell is about, right? So my mind is now in this continuity of useless crap.
Right.
And they pretend maybe that they help you to awake. No, it's entertainment.
Yeah, it really is. It's a little sad actually, because people aren't even aware of what's happening until they keep failing and failing and failing, which is what I did. And so I guess I had to get to a point where, I don't know.
Yeah, well, those directions out there, in my case too, every other direction had to fail, go bankrupt.
Yeah.
It went so bankrupt that there's nothing else I could do or learn until I had the necessity of going into the body.
Right.
Ah, okay. You can only go into the now in this instant.
That's right.
And then if you like the ceremony, you can still go to India.
Right.
Enjoy the ceremony. You can still go to exotic lands and enjoy that, but you can only be present here and now. You don't have to go to Tibet to be present.
Right. I'm kind of learning that even where I am now, even the thinking about all that is not really preferred. I really prefer to be in the present moment.
Yeah.
And it's great. What's going on in my life is pretty rough, and I'm just very grateful to the universe that you know, this coincidence has happened.
Yeah, I remember the first time we met,
Mm,
first time we talked,
mhm,
and to now, it's like you're a whole different person.
mm.
Your mind was running amok, and then slowly,
Yes, I didn't even know that until I was watching the videos.
yeah,
And
that's what it's supposed to do. Yeah,
yeah, and then I could even see, yeah.
but you were able to quickly relax into the simplicity and
Mm,
accept it, and that's the goal.
right.
It's not mystical.
No, not at all.
It's not complex. It's for anybody. It's your birthright. So
Absolutely.
congratulations.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gabor, and thank you, Jenna. It was a wonderful question. And I hope you all enjoy the question and the answer, and stay tuned for the next one.
Édes lehet az a krémes, mit a lányok esznek, de nekem nem vesznek. Ezért, hogyha álmodik a babszika, egy színarany taxiba beleül is a mennyekbe száll. Ottan mennyországi boltba van sok ezer torta, és nem kell állni sorba. Sütemény csak annak szabad ennie, akinek nincs senkie, aki járva is egye.